are deciding on what they should do for college. Yeah, what they should do for college as far as picking a college, choosing a college. Well, in this video, even during the pandemic, yes, during the pandemic, I want to give you 3 things to consider when you're deciding on what college you want to go to, what college you want to apply to, and finally, what college you want to pick. All right, welcome to the Kantis Simmons Show. Yes, welcome to the Kantis Simmons Show. Listen, man, it has been a awesome 2021. Now, we know 2020 was an adjustment for all of us, and you've made it, right? You've made it now. Whether you're watching this via YouTube, whether you're watching this on Facebook Live, my fan page, or my personal page, hey, welcome. Welcome to the Kantis Simmons Show. Now, I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to give you 3 things to consider during this season. Yeah, during this season. You know, all the amazing and weird and, you know, all let's say not discomforting, uncomfortable things that are going on. And they're also impacting our education systems, our colleges, our universities. Now, before I go into those 3 things, one of the things that is very important to me and a lot of people that I work with is how are you going to pay the college tuition bill, right? So I have a free workshop going on over at kantissimmons.com/workshop where I break down how to locate and land college scholarships. A little simple free video where it breaks down what I call my funding framework and showing you, your student, your family, how you can fund your college tuition bill, especially if you haven't laid up money or have a plan. So simply go over to kantissimmons.com/workshop to jump right in on that college funding workshop. So let's go ahead and talk about, during the pandemic, what should we consider? Right now, if you've never heard my story, I have 3 college degrees. Went to Norfolk State University, got a BS degree in chemistry. Got another degree from Lehigh University up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, in polymer science and engineering. They have another Master of Science degree from Georgia Tech in textile and fiber engineering. But that was back in the day. And today, there are some things that you have to really look at when deciding on what college you should go to. All right. Number 1, yes, testing. Now, one of the things that's different right now this season compared to other time periods is that a lot of schools are actually admitting students without taking the SAT or the ACT, right? Of course, in 2020, because of the shutdown, many schools are allowing students to come to their college without the SAT or ACT. So here are my thoughts on it. Colleges are adjusting some of their procedures, right, where the testing is concerned. But when admitting a person to a college, if testing is not there, now they have to consider some other things, right? They have to consider your grades. They have to consider your extracurricular activities and your essays. So now they're going to put more emphasis on those 3 things if you did not submit an SAT or ACT score. Now, the other side, if they're allowing students to come in without the SAT score, the ACT score, and you do have some scores on files, I recommend that you highlight those scores, right? I believe today what they do is that they take the highest score of the different sections and come up with a super score. But when looking to decide to pick a college and when you're applying for it, you want to consider testing, right? You want to evaluate if the school does or does not receive your testing scores. But if you do have testing scores, have those stand out in your application, because now the colleges have a little bit more to weigh their decision on based on the fact that you have test scores. But if you don't have test scores, when picking a college, you want to just go in to find out if they are waiving that, and also spend time looking at the other areas that they're emphasizing where admitting students to their college. All right, so the first thing to consider is testing. Now, the second thing that you want to consider is travel. Travel. Now, during this pandemic, more and more students and families, they feel more comfortable staying closer to home. All right. And one of the things that I want you to think about is that when you look at the list of schools that you may, have in front of you, or the schools that you're interested in, because more and more people are staying closer to home, there are some schools and colleges that may be on your list that are a little further away. And because they are a little further away, my recommendation is to not scratch them off of your list. Why? Because colleges and universities today, they understand what's going on. And some of them, they're having some challenges as well, right? They're hurting a little bit where admissions is concerned, but they're making adjustments. So if there are some schools that are away from you, and during this pandemic, you felt like, I got to stay close to home, which I understand that. But I want you to open your thoughts up to say, you know what? If I can drive to this university, which may be, few states over, or on the other side of the country, or if you're willing to travel, take a plane or whatever to get there, hey, there could be some great options for you. Now, of course, I know safety is one of the most important things that we are stressing here in our state and all the states across the country. But colleges are doing the same thing, right? A lot of colleges now, there's consistent testing going on for the virus. Their safety protocols are in place. But when you're looking at a potential college right now, making a decision, yeah, definitely think about travel. Okay? Most people do have the mindset, hey, I'm going to stay close to home. But if there are some great universities that you have to travel to, that's a location that I would recommend that you consider. All right. Here's the third thing to consider. We're picking and choosing a college during this pandemic. Number 3 is taxes. Now, a lot of schools understand that many families have had a loss in their income this last year. And when applying for college, specifically financial aid, more and more colleges are considering what's happening in your finances right now. Now, of course, when applying for college, you know that you can go 2 years back with your tax returns. We're applying for financial aid, scholarships, and all the different areas of funding the tuition bill, right? So you can go, look at your taxes 2 years back. Now, 2 years ago, things may have looked good for the tax return, but because of what has happened with the pandemic, you may have had some things change financially. Here's what schools are allowing you to do, all right? If you can show and prove that you have need for the money, right? There are more and more what we call merit-based scholarships that are out there, but there are also these scholarships where, hey, you can show that, hey, we've had some change, and based on 2 years ago, my tax return said this. And because of the adjustment, the same money that we had 2-3 years ago, that's not the case right now. We've had some adjustments. And if you can show that and communicate that to the university, then listen, they will be more open to giving out some of the aid that you would need to go to college. So I just wanted to come on here and bring some ideas and some thoughts to what you should do when picking and selecting a college over these next few years. Not really sure how 2021 is going to turn out, 2022, 2023. But what you can do is this: control what you can control. All right. All the other things that are going on out here, hey, you can't control those things, right? So it's travel that you can control, control that. If it's testing that you can control, control that. Where communicating your tax returns, or even more specifically, the changes in your family's finances, then be able to control that. Schools are looking, and schools are still in the education business. Now, many schools have made adjustments, and because they've made adjustments, they've opened things up a little bit differently, where their admission process is concerned. All right. Hopefully that was helpful for you. And by the way, if you want more help on how you're going to fund your college education, maybe you don't have a plan, or maybe you haven't started thinking about it. Well, I have a free workshop over at kantissimmons.com/workshop, where I break down for you my 9-step college funding process. Yes, it breaks down the things that you should look for and consider where funding your students' college education. If you want access to that, simply go over to kantissimmons.com/workshop. Listen, I'm Kantis Simmons. I'm absolutely excited that you're here at the Kantis Simmons Show. Hey, if you like this, hey, go ahead and give me a like. If you're on Facebook or YouTube and want to subscribe to more videos like this, hit that subscribe button somewhere on this page. And if you have questions concerning what you should do about the college that you're deciding on, let me know down in the comments. Maybe you've already made a decision, right? Let me know down in the comments. Let's have this ongoing communication, and I'll do my best to continue to serve you. Again, thank you for watching the Kantis Simmons Show.